जनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी गोपी जनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यमुनतीरावनचारी यमुनातीरावनचारी जय राधा माधवा कुंजा विहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंजा विहारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजक आचार्य अष्टोत्तरशत शिष्यमद अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्लोक प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की समवेत भक्त वृंद की गौर प्रमानंदे। Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, Chapter 27, Understanding Material Nature, Text 11. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्योत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। मुक्तलिंगं सदाभासं असति प्रतिपद्यते सतो बन्धुम् असचक्षु सर्वानुस्यूतम् अद्वयम् मुक्तलिंगं सदाभासम् असति प्रतिपद्यते सतो बन्धुम् अचक्षु सर्वानुस्यूतम् अद्वयम् मुक्तलिंगं सदाभासम् असति प्रतिपद्यते सतो बन्धुम् अचक्षु सर्वानुस्यूतम् अद्वयम् मुक्तलिंगं सदाभासम् असति प्रतिपद्यते सतो बन्धुम् अचक्षु सर्वानुस्यूतम् अद्वयम्। माताजी word to word meaning, translation and fulfilled by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Muktalingam, transcendental. Sat abhasam, manifest as a reflection. Asati, in the false ego. Pratipadyate, he realizes. Sata bandhum, the support of the material cause. Asat chakshu, the eye of the illusory energy. Sarva anusutam, entered into everything. Advayam, without a second. Translation: a liberated soul realizes the absolute personality of Godhead, who is transcendental and who is manifest as a reflection even in the false ego. He is the support of the material cause and he enters into everything. He is absolute, one without a second, and he is the eyes of the illusory energy. Please repeat after me. A liberated soul realizes the absolute personality of Godhead, who is transcendental and who is manifest as a reflection even in the false ego. He is the support of the material cause and he enters into everything. He is absolute, one without a second, and he is the eyes of the illusory energy. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. A pure devotee can see the presence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in everything materially manifested. He is present there only as a reflection, but a pure devotee can realize that in the darkness of material illusion, the only light is the Supreme Lord, who is its support. It is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita that the background of the material manifestation is Lord Krishna. And as confirmed in the Brahma Samhita, Krishna is the cause of all causes. In the Brahma Samhita, it is stated that the Supreme Lord, by his partial or plenary expansion, is present not only within this universe and each and every universe, but in every atom. Although he is one without a second, the word Advayam, without a second, which is used in this verse, indicates that although the Supreme Personality of Godhead is represented in everything, including the atoms, he is not divided. His presence in everything is explained in the next verse. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Namo Om Vishwapadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunnavadi Pashyat Deshatarine Panchakalpatarubhasya Kripa Sindhubh Evacha Patitanang Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namah. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhaktarvinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Very fortunate and blessed to get the opportunity to speak on Srimad Bhagavatam in Sri Dham Mayapur. So, we're discussing today 3rd canto, 27th chapter, text 11. So, these teachings of Lord Kapil Deva to Mother Devotee is very important. In 3rd canto, almost 10 to 12 chapters are dedicated to Karadam Muni and Kapil Dev and devotees pastimes. And it's very important. I was hearing one lecture by Jayapataka Maharaj He says, when Prabhupada met his mother here in Sri Dham Mayapur, he told his mother, you should take instruction from your son, Jayapataka. Just like Mother Devahuti took instructions from Kapil Dev. So, anyone can give instruction, anyone can become a Siksha Guru in spiritual context. So, in this verse, Lord Kapil Dev is saying that Mukta Lingam Sad Abhasam Asati Prati Paddhati, that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is, although He is transcendental, but He is all pervading. He is everywhere. In Bhagavad Gita, in 9th chapter, Krishna says, Maya tatam idam sarvam jagat avaktamurtina. So, He is present everywhere, omnipresent, but He is not affected by anything of this material world. Prabhupada gave the example of just like a jailer or superintendent of police. Sometimes they go inside the prison to inspect how the jail function is happening, but they are not bound to the rules and regulations of the prison. So Krishna can expand himself in many forms, but he is not bound to the rules of this material world. And if we expand ourselves in 2-3 services, like Rath Yatra gone, Janmashtami is coming, so we lose our temper, and even if we expand 2-3 services, but Krishna can expand himself in multiple form. So therefore, in purport, Prabhupada says the pure devotee can see the presence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in everything materially manifested. So for a pure devotee, actually nothing is material, because he can see the presence of Supreme Lord in everything, through the energies of Krishna. And Prabhupada says that is reflection of Krishna's energy is actually non-different from Krishna. Prabhupada says in one of his lecture, he says this is called Vaikuntha Darshan. The residents of Vaikuntha, this sees everything in connection with Krishna. Similarly, a pure devotee or self-realized person, he can see everything in connection with Krishna. We have the famous first times of Ramananda Rai and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Ramananda Rai had long discussion, and one day Ramananda Rai told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that, my dear Lord, earlier I could see you as a sannyasi, saffron dropped sannyasi, but now I can see you as Krishna holding flute. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Vishnu, don't tell like this. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told her, Ramananda, you are such a great personality, advanced devotee. Because of your love for Krishna, you can see Krishna in everyone. I am not Krishna. That is because of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's humility. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, then sthavar jangam dekhe na dekhetar murti sarvatra hai nija ishyadev spurti. That whatever a pure devotee sees, he sees everything as his worshipable Lord. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, I am not Krishna, but you are seeing me as Krishna. That is because of your transcendental position. We have another first time with Ramananda Rai, and someone came to show his writing to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, before reading, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is to send them to Ramananda Rai and Sarvadamodar. So that person went in Jagannath Vallabh garden in Jagannath Puri. He was waiting to show his writing to Ramananda Rai. And someone told Ramananda Rai, busy decorating the young girls for the pleasure of Lord Jagannath. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard this, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I am as a sannyasi, I become bewildered sometime. But Ramananda Rai, he don't see anyone, male, female, boys, girls. He sees everything in connection with Krishna. So that's how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught. So this in this verse, another line, it says, Asati Pratipadyate. Asati means, Prabhupada translated Asati means in the false ego. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, He is present even in the false ego. So that means if someone has false ego, we should see Krishna there also. That's what it says, this verse, Kapil Dev. So false ego is material and illusory. Yet the consciousness within that false ego is because the Supreme Lord is present there. So that's what Kapil Dev is saying. asati pratipaddate. So just like the example is given, sun may be reflected in the dirty water, in the mud, but sun itself never becomes dirty. So Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is present even in false ego, but he never get affected by that false ego. There is a verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, where Prabhupada in the powerful Prabhupada says, Kunti Maharaj prayers, Tvai me ananya vishaya matir madhupate asakrid, Gange bogam idan matam. So Kunti Maharani was praying, my dear Lord, I want my consciousness to flow like the water of Ganges. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he gave one beautiful example in this regard. He says, sometime during rainy season, now this monsoon time, you can see mud and foam in the water of Ganges. In Jaiva Dharma, he gave this example. But you can't check the purity of the Ganges water. Although it's muddy and full of foams, but it's still Ganges water pure. So similarly, asati pratipaddate means Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is present even in false ego, just like sun reflected in dirty water. So therefore, we should not judge anyone, special devotees, by external appearance, because Supreme Lord is present in everything and everywhere. Someone asked Srila Prabhupada, if material nature is the absence of Krishna, then what is material? Prabhupada says, you are right, actually there is nothing material. There is nothing material in this world. Prabhupada says, if you continue Krishna consciousness, there is nothing material. When you offer this flower to Krishna, is it material? No. But when you offer that flower for any material purpose, then that is material, Prabhupada says. Prabhupada, even Prabhupada's lecture, Prabhupada says, even in stool, even in wine also, liquor, you can find Krishna, Prabhupada says. So therefore, nothing is material as long as nirvandha Krishna sambandhe. We can connect everything with Krishna, nothing is material. But for material people, everything is material. And they use everything, all the material object for their sense gratification. There is a verse in Ishopanishad that says, Yastu sarvani bhutani atpanne evanu pashyati sarva bhuteshu chatmanam tato no vijugupsate. One who sees all beings in relation to the Supreme and sees the Supreme in all beings never hates or envies anyone. So, the pure devotee never hates anything in this material world. The Prabhupada's famous first time, someone was showing in New York City, Prabhupada, this yogi, he is so detached, so renounced, and someone brought some bundle of money, dollars, and he says, no, this is Maya, I don't want to touch the dollars. And Prabhupada says, bring a bundle of dollars, I will embrace all those dollars, and show another picture. Prabhupada says, he is full number one, he don't know how to use the dollars in the service of Krishna. I know, you bring me unlimited money, I can use that in the service of Krishna. So only Prabhupada, exalted personality can do that. If we embrace the dollar, we will forget Krishna. So therefore, nothing is material, Prabhupada says in the here. That is, Prabhupada says, pure devotee can see Supreme Personality of Godhead in this state. So that is the vision of Mahabhagavat, pure devotee in Srimad Bhagavatam. In Navayogandra's prayers, it says, Sarva Bhuteshu Ya Pashyad Bhagavad Bhavani Atmani Bhutani Bhagavati Atmani Sa Esha Bhagavat Uttama. The definition of first class devotee is one who sees everyone in connection with Krishna, not only as a fodder parcel of Krishna. Sarva Bhuteshu Ya Pashyad Bhagavad Bhavani Atmani. The pure devotee, first class devotee, sees everyone as a devotee of Krishna. That's why in Uttam Adhikari stage, they can't preach because they see everyone devotee of Krishna. They have to come down to the level of Madhyam Adhikari. So, therefore, they see everyone equally, as like Krishna, Sama Aham Sarva Bhuteshu. He never discriminate between everyone because he sees everyone in connection with Krishna. So, when this this love for Krishna arises, we also can see everyone in connection with Krishna. Brahma Samhita, Prabhupada quoted in the purport, Brahma Samhita says, Preman Janot Churita Bhakti Vilochanena. So when our eyes will be anointed with the love of Krishna, then also Santa Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti. We can see, we will be able to see everyone in connection with Krishna. There are many first times of Srila Prabhupada, One beautiful first time, how Prabhupada, could see everything in connection with Krishna. Prabhupada was walking, and suddenly the disciples following Srila Prabhupada, they saw a beautiful flower, very unusual, very unique flower. They got stuck, they stopped. And Prabhupada, came back. Prabhupada says, what are you seeing? They says, Prabhupada sees such a beautiful flower. And Prabhupada was paused for some time. And devotees were thinking Prabhupada will praise that flower. Prabhupada says, they asked Prabhupada, what are you thinking about this flower? Prabhupada is thinking, see, this flower is so beautiful. I am thinking, how beautiful the creator who created this flower. So Prabhupada says, Krishna in everything, And even like, Prabhupada used to walk in modern cities, these high-rise buildings, And Prabhupada's first time is there in Bombay. And when Prabhupada saw high-rise building, a skyscraper, people are impressed by seeing a skyscraper building. So Prabhupada, and suddenly Prabhupada says, see all this beautiful building, a skyscraper building, all the intelligence has been given by Krishna. So Prabhupada says Krishna in everything, And there is another first time I heard that, Prabhupada was walking in a park, and suddenly Prabhupada stopped, he crossed one tree, and some birds were making noise. And Prabhupada says, see, these birds are chanting Hare Krishna. And the disciple went back. They said, no, Prabhupada, we can't hear. Prabhupada said, I clearly heard they are chanting Hare Krishna. So that is the vision of, pure devotee. Everything can be used in Krishna service, and everywhere he can see the presence of Krishna. So then Prabhupada says in the purport, he says, he is present there only as a reflection, but a pure devotee can realize that in the darkness of material illusion, the only light is the Supreme Lord who is its support. It is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita that the background of the material manifestation is the Lord Krishna. So, in this verse it says, Sato Bandhum Achas Sakshu. He is the support of material nature. That means, nothing happens in this material world without the will of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna is the support of material nature. That means nothing happens accidentally and independently. Prabhupada, this life comes from life, that book conversation, the scientist, they says because of this, in the beginning of creation, there is huge blast, big bang, and because of that creation happened. So Prabhupada in one lecture, Prabhupada says, he was saying in the beginning of creation there is huge blast, therefore creation happened. Prabhupada said in our country, in India, every year we do Deepavali, lot of blast happens, no creation happens. People blast so many crackers, but no creation happens. So these words clearly saying the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is the support of material nature. And so nothing can happen accidentally. Prabhupada gave the example of this flower. Prabhupada says in childhood we used to make the roses out of paper. You cut paper and make roses. So Prabhupada says, see, even the paper rose has a creator. What to speak of natural roses, which blooms in different seasons, which gives different aromas, which has different colors. How come you say that there is no creator? So there is a creator behind everything. So that proves that he is the support of everything. So everything, therefore, since he is the support of material nature, everything in this material world is happening because of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, we should understand everything can be spiritual. Everything can be transformed into spirituality. So nothing is material. So therefore, a devotee sees Krishna in everything. Nirvanda Krishna Sambandhe. So Prabhupada then wrote, the pure devotee sees Krishna through his energies. All the energies what we can see in this material world. In Bhagavad Gita 7th chapter, Krishna gave a whole description. Raso aham asukanteu, balam balavatam chasmi. So in this he gave whole list how we can see Krishna in this material world, in everything, and all his through his energies. So although in this verse Mukta Lingam, he is transcendental. He is transcendental, but he is everywhere. There are many examples can be given. One example is given here. In next verse also is coming, the sun. So sun is there in the sky, but the reflection of the sun can be seen in water, in walls, in everywhere. Similarly, some example, for example, flower. Flower may be, the garden may be far away, but we can feel the presence of flower through the fragrance. Similarly, electricity. Prabhupada gave another example of electricity. So we use so many devices, but electric connection is in one point. Through that electric connection, it energies are spreading everywhere. And similarly, moon. The moon is experienced through moonlight. So similar sun and moon. And another example is, beautiful example is given in Puran, that is the spider. Yathurna nabhi srijate garnate cha. That means the spider creates, maintains and withdraws its web. So similarly, Supreme Personality of Godhead, he creates this material world, material creation, he maintains, and when time comes, he withdraws also this creation. But the question is, why can't we see Supreme Personality of Godhead, although he is present through his energies everywhere in this material world? In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna spoke about this. He says, Sutre mani ganaiva. The Sutre mani ganaiva, just like this garland. So all the flower petals, everything is there, but all are together because of the thread. But we can't see the thread. We don't say this is the garland of thread. We say this is garland of Rajanigandha. Is not it? So similarly, Sutre mani ganaiva means Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is maintaining everything. So he is unseen controller behind every laws of this material nature. So he don't want to take credit. That's why Sutre mani ganaiva. The thread never gets the credit of garland, beautiful garland. The flower gets the credit. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is creating, he is doing everything, but he is at the same time Vairagya. He is detached from everything material, although he manages and he does everything in this material world. So therefore, Supreme Personality of Godhead, only pure devotee. That's why Prabhupada wrote that only a pure devotee can realize the Supreme Personality of Godhead present in everything. Not everyone can realize the presence of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So even some people, they say, we don't, if we see the Supreme Lord, face to face, then only we will, recognize the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not through his energies. There is a first time that, like this Mahabharata, we have the example, Shishupal, this Ravan comes, they also saw Krishna face to face, but they could not recognize. There is a first time, it says, once Lord Krishna told Uddhava, that Uddhav, today I am going to meet a very important person. So let's prepare my chariot. So Lord Krishna was inside the room, he was decorating himself, changing turban and changing dress. Uddhav was waiting for Supreme Lord, and he became impatient because Lord is decorating himself so much today. So he could not tolerate anymore. He went inside the room. My dear Lord, why are you decorating yourself so much? Whom are you going to meet today? He must be a very important person. Then Krishna says, he is Duryodhan. And Uddhav was shocked. You are going to meet this rascal Duryodhan and you are decorating yourself so much. Then the Lord says, see, my dear devotees, my surrendered devotees, they can understand me as a coward boy also. But this rascal Duryodhan, he will not understand me. That's why I have to show him some prowess, In Chaitanya Charitamrita, this verse comes that Dekhiyao na dekhe yata abhaktiragan uluke na dekhe yeche suryera kiran. So those who are not surrendered, not fully surrendered or devotees, Dekhiyao na dekhe yata abhaktiragan. Those abhakta, non-devotees, even after seeing the Supreme Lord, even after seeing His potency, they don't recognize Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the example is given of owl. Uluke na dekhe yeche surya kiran. The owl, they don't see the sunlight because they don't come out during the day. They comes out only during the night. You can see, especially in Mayapur, sometime, night time. So, who is the loser? If owl, they don't come during daytime, sun is not the loser, the owl is the loser. So, similarly, Supreme Personality of Godhead, He is present everywhere. Even sometimes He descends in this material world as His incarnation. But only the pure devotees, as Prabhupada explained in this verse, can see Him, can understand Him. So, that is the vision of a pure devotee. And in this verse also another Kapil Dev says, Sato bandhum achas chakshu. Asat, Prabhupada says, Asat means Maya. Sat, Asat. Achas chakshu means, Achas chakshu means the eye of the illusory energy. So, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, He is the eyes of illusory energy, that means Maya. So, even Maya also Supreme Personality of God is present. So, two terms used here. One is, this Sat Abhasam, Asati. Another one is Asat Sakshu. Supreme Personality of Godhead present even in false ego, and He is the controller, He is the eyes of illusory energy, that is Maya. So even Maya, anyone is affected by Maya, that is also because of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Maya is very prevalent. So therefore in Bhagavad Gita it says, those who have taken shelter at the lotus feet of Supreme Personality of Godhead, Maya can't do anything. We have famous example of here. Yesterday we went there in Fulia, Haridas Thakur's first time. Bhajan Kutir of Haridas Thakur near Shantipur. So Maya Devi herself came to allure Haridas Thakur, but he took shelter of chanting of the holy name of the Lord, and then Maya Devi also took shelter of him. So therefore, if your devotee sees everything in connection with Krishna, at the end Prabhupada says that in Brahma Samhita it is stated that the Supreme Lord by His partial or plenary expansion is present not only within this universe and each and every universe, but in every atom, although He is one without a second. The word Advayam, without a second, which is used in this verse, indicates that although the Supreme Personality of Godhead is present in everything, including the atoms, He is not divided. In Ishopanishad, in this regard, it says, Purnam Adha Purnam Adha Purnam Purnam Udassati. Purnasam Purnam Adaya Purnam Evava Shishyati. So, the Lord can expand Himself into multiple forms, but still He is not divided. An example in Brahma Samhita, another example is given, Diparchireva. One candle can light multiple candles, but the original candle remain same. So therefore, a devotee's vision, he can see the presence of Supreme Personality of Godhead everywhere. In Bhagavad Gita 6 chapter, it says, Yomam Pashyati Sarvatra Sarvam Cha Mai Pashyati Tasyaham Na Pranashyami Sacha Mena Pranashyati. And that is actually the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I was sitting in Sri Dham Mayapur. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught Vipralamba Bhav, the love in separation. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he, after taking sannyas, especially after coming back from Gaya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu displayed this Vipralamba Bhav. And wherever Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was going, he is seeing the presence of Krishna everywhere. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Jagannath Puri, he was seeing ocean as Yamuna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by seeing Chatak Parvat, and near Tota Gopinath temple, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu seeing Chatak Parvat as Govardhan hill. And wherever Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would go, these gardens and everything, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would see the Vrindavan, forest of Vrindavan. And every sound reminded Chaitanya Mahaprabhu about Krishna. So that is the highest form of devotional service. When we, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teaching, we are separated from Krishna for so many lifetimes. And therefore, that is the actually vision of gopis of Vrindavan. When Krishna left Vrindavan, they were seeing Krishna everywhere. They were seeing Kadamba tree. They ran to embrace Kadamba tree. They are feeling separation from Krishna. There is a first time in Vrindavan, Prem Sarovar, beautiful first time where Lord Krishna and Radharani, they are sitting together. Prem Sarovar is in between Varsana and Nandagram. So every day they would meet on that place, Prem Sarovar, and Krishna, Radharani and all their gopas and gopis, everyone sitting there. So in fact, the description is Radharani, she was sitting on the lap of Krishna so closely, and all the gopis and gopas, they are fanning, they are serving Radha and Krishna. And suddenly one bumblebee came and roaming around Radharani's beautiful face, and Radharani felt disturbed, Jaiche Ali Matta Vhare Malaya Jagandhini. Radharani is so beautiful. Even the bumblebees, they get attracted by sandalwood of Malay hills. So Radharani felt disturbed. So Radharani and Lord Krishna noticed that. And Lord Krishna told his friends, Gopas, please get rid of this bumblebees. So they took some branches of the trees, and with that help they are moving those bumblebees away from the sight of Radha and Krishna. So they went far away to the forest. And then Krishna, from there Krishna asked, is Madhu gone? Madhu means Madhumakhi, that means bumblebee. Has Madhu gone away from this place? Has Madhu gone to the forest? And all the friends, Madhu Mangal and others, they say, yes, my dear Lord Krishna, Madhu has gone far away from this site. So Madhu means the bumblebee will not disturb anymore. But Radharani heard Madhu means Madhusudan. But Krishna says, Madhu has gone, that means Madhu, bumblebee has gone. Radharani heard that Madhusudan left. Although she is sitting very close to Krishna. And she started crying. Although Krishna is sitting next to Srimati Radharani, she started crying that Madhusudan left me. Krishna left me. She started feeling separation. Great separation. And by seeing her love for Krishna, Krishna started crying. The tears coming from Krishna's eyes. Such a love. And by seeing Krishna crying, all the gopas, Krishna's friend, they started crying. By seeing crying, all the gopis, Lalita, Vishaka, they all started crying. And everyone is crying there. Why? Krishna left. But Krishna is sitting there. And that out of the tears of Gopa, Gopis, Krishna and Radharani, that Sarovar created, lake created, that is called Prem Sarovar. So that first time, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he displayed when he came 500 years back. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, therefore he went to Jagannath Puri, he was seeing only Lord Jagannath, not Baldev and Subhadra. Most of the time he was in the mood of Srimati Radharani. Radha Bhava Duti Subalitam Nomi Chaitanya Swarupam. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared by assuming the complexion and mood of Srimati Radharani. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu displayed. Therefore, that is the vision of the highest devotee, Mahabhagavat. It says, Jaha Jaha Netra Pade Taha Taha Krishna Spure. A Mahabhagavat, great devotee, wherever his eyes falls, he can see everything in connection with Krishna. We have in Srimad Bhagavatam last, this Avadhut Brahman, Avanti Brahman. So he accepted everyone from this nature, 24 gurus, and because he could see Krishna in everything, So that's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Yugaitam Nimeshana Chakshusha Pabrishayitam. So because of separation of Krishna, he is feeling one moment like one yuga. We have in His Holiness Gaur Govinda Maharaj, he established temple in Bhubaneswar. Prabhupada was also there. Last temple out of 108 temples. That was 108 temple. So Maharaj, this court is still there. Maharaj says, see, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came in Kali Yuga just to teach us how to cry for Krishna. So I have opened a school of crying. You all are invited, come to our center, sometime you can cry for Krishna. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the best example than the Gopis of Vrindavan of this verse, Mukta Lingam Sad Avhasam. So he could see Krishna's presence in everything. See this, we are talking about false ego and illusory energy. This famous first time of Amog. in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela, among the son-in-law of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. So he kind of insulted Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was taking prasadam at his in-laws' house, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's house, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't mind. These we have Ramchandra Puri's example in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela, full of false pride. Ramchandra Puri, he would always criticize Vaishnavas, and Ramchandra Puri, he would find out different means how to criticize Vaishnavas, and he would invite Vaishnavas at his place, and he would like feed them, forcefully. You take more prasada, even when they are full, he used to feed them forcefully in Jagannath Puri. He brought all the prasadam from Jagannath Puri and forcefully feeding after everyone full of his stomach, and he would sit down on his throne and he would say that I heard previously the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they eat too much. Today I have seen in my own eyes. After feeding forcefully, he would criticize them, So we also, even after coming to Krishna consciousness, we try to find out different means how to criticize Vaishnavas, Vaishnavas are faultless, nidosh, but we try to find faults in Vaishnavas, So, but the point I am making is, and after that, he criticized his own spiritual master, Madhavendra Puri. Because once we criticize Vaishnavas, that will not stop there. The consequent result is, it will automatically lead to Guru Aparad. Vaishnava Aparad will lead to Guru Aparad. Guru Aparad will lead to Krishna Aparad. So he criticized his own Guru, Madhavendra Puri, who was sleeping on his deathbed. Last moment he was remembering Krishna, he was crying, "Oh hey Dinadayada Mathuranath, when can I get your darshan, my dear Mathuranath?" But this Ramchandra Puri, who is to criticize all the Vaishnavas, he went to the quarter of his Guru and he said, "My dear Guru Maharaj, you don't have proper knowledge of scriptures. That's why you are crying for Krishna." And his Guru becomes so upset. "I am feeling separation of Krishna. And this full disciple, he is instructing me." And then, now this Vaishnava Aparad, then Guru Aparad, then ultimately Krishna Aparad. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was sitting in his room in Gambhira in Jagannath Puri. And this Ramchandra Puri, who previously criticized the devotees, then his Guru, now he says, "See, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is sannyasi, but how come the ants coming out from his quarter?" That means he have kept some sweetmeats in his room. Can you imagine? He even criticized Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Supreme Personality of Godhead. So if we criticize, if you offend Vaishnavas, it will never stop there. It will ultimately lead to Guru Aparad, and then eventually it will go to Krishna. And the same thing happened with Indra also. He criticized many Vaishnavas. And his Guru Vrihaspati, he didn't stand up by seeing Vrihaspati. Eventually he criticized Krishna. Why the people of Vrindavan, they are worshipping this little boy? So we should never think, I will criticize only devotees. I have seen, I was with my Guru Maharaj closely many years. This is, we will follow everything of Guru Maharaj, but not about devotees. But those devotees eventually criticize Guru also. If you criticize Vaishnavas, it will ultimately lead to Guru. Anyway, the point I am making, this Ramchandra Puri, when he criticized Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because of his false ego, false pride, as described in this verse, the Supreme Lord is present in false ego also. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the devotees, they become so sad that this Ramchandra Puri is criticizing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took it as the blessings of Krishna. He stopped eating almost. He stopped, almost eating, his proportion became half. And all the devotees saying, "Mahaprabhu, please don't listen to this, offender, Ramchandra Puri. This is his nature." But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, "No, Ramchandra Puri, actually Lord Krishna is teaching me through Ramchandra Puri." So that is the mode of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, So, Supreme Personality of Godhead present even in false ego, and he, even in Maya also in this verse is saying, "Sato bandhum asat chakshu." He is the eyes of Maya, everything happening in this material world, So therefore, only a perfect and pure devotee, exalted devotee like Srila Prabhupada can see the presence of Supreme Personality of Godhead everything and everywhere in this material world. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Any question, comments, Maharaj?
So, generally, it's the purpose of the Srimad Bhagavatam to connect us with Krishna, to his energies. Therefore, the material creation is described two times in the first cantos. That you said that everything is ultimately spiritual. Factually, the material energy exists only for us because we are identifying with the body.
Yes.
Because we have the body, we see matter. But Narada Muni has a spiritual body. He goes through matter with his spiritual body. Even we are, at the time of death, the super soul brings us to the next body, together with the subtle body. The subtle body goes to gross body, gross matter, through the wall. It doesn't exist. So of course, Krishna is the cause of all energies, is the cause of all causes. The cause must be in the effect always. You said that the 24 gurus was the Avanti Brahman.
Yes.
It is factually the Avaduta Brahman.
Yeah.
Avanti Brahman we find later in the 11th canto. And the Avaduta Brahman was factually Lord Dattatreya.
Dattatreya, yes.
Dattatreya. Yeah. So, yes, this would be my comment. Also, yesterday, for those who attended the class yesterday, there was one point which was, according to me, not 100% clear. If you look at the previous verse, it speaks about the awake situation in which we are awake when we are dreaming,
sleeping,
or susupti, deep sleep. When we are awake, the consciousness which comes from the soul in the area of the heart is pervading the subtle and the gross body when we are awake. When we are sleeping, then the consciousness is partially withdrawn from the gross body and is concentrated in the subtle body, the mind especially.
yes.
But in deep sleep, because the speaker yesterday said about the deep sleep, there is no consciousness.
Yes.
But in deep sleep, there is no material consciousness, but there is spiritual consciousness. The soul cannot be without consciousness at any moment, Prabhupada says. So if we are in deep sleep, we are conscious of the soul only, of our real self. Because
yes.
if we get up in the morning, then we think I had a good sleep. We have experienced it. So, but that is factually Brahman realization. But we feel the peace of Brahman in deep sleep, but not the bliss of Brahman, because we are still covered by a subtle and a gross body. I just wanted to clarify this from yesterday, because if devotees think there is no consciousness, that's wrong. There is no material consciousness.
Yes, you are right.
So thank you very much. It was a very nice class.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Maharaj, for your comments. Hare Krishna. Okay. Hare Krishna. You have a question, Prabhu?
Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhu, so you mentioned about the offensive mentality. Many times devotees have this understanding that we should not speak in a way that hurts others. So sometimes actions are regarded as offense. But we see that in Bhagavad Gita itself, Arjuna is not ready to kill his teacher, Dronacharya. But Krishna is inciting that this is your duty, your dharma. So he is killing his teacher. So on action level, killing is the highest offense to a Vaishnava. So that means action.
Okay, I think I got your point. You are saying that in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna told, indulged Arjun to kill his relatives, teacher, everyone. But our case, we should not do that. The point is when it is recommended by Krishna, something that is that is justified. Prabhupada says in one of his lectures, he says, see, Arjun and Hanuman's anger were transcendental. We can't be angry to another devotee who say, my anger is transcendental. No, because that is recommended by Krishna. That is approved by Krishna. And Arjun, there is a famous first time I just, contemplating, Prabhupada, some police officer, I think it's in Mumbai, and he was criticizing Prabhupada. Prabhupada, this Swamiji, he established Krishna consciousness movement. And see so many young sannyasis, young boys, they become sannyasis. And they become useless. They are chanting, dancing, they are not doing anything throughout the day. He made them almost, what is called useless people. So Prabhupada heard that, Prabhupada called that police guy. And as the Prabhupada was saying, Prabhupada says, see, in Indian history, there are two big war happened. One is Mahabharata, one is Ramayana. You know who are the two heroes of this war? One is Hanuman and one is Arjun. You know what was the first duty of Hanuman and Arjun? They are chanting the Krishna's name. But when there was required, they took weapon. So don't think our people, my disciples, they are useless. If there is requirement, they will take weapon also, Prabhupada says, So if it is recommended by spiritual master and Krishna, then that is justified, Otherwise, this offense, what he was saying, even this Daksha's first time it comes, the Sati and Daksha's, the Lord Shiva's first time, he says when you see someone is, criticizing Vaishnavas, the first thing what should we do? We should cut the tongue, isn't it? First, and then if you can't do, then second is, what? Defeat them with argument. And third, if you can't do that, leave the place. But Sati's case, she could not do even 3 because she left her husband. So now only one option left because she burned her body. Because all the 3 options left for me. I can't go back to my husband's place, But see, that is, in time, place and circumstances, we can't. Now if we cut the tongue, we'll cut everyone's tongue, Everyone's criticizing Vaishnavas, But in Kali Yuga, I heard from my Guru Maharaj, in Kali Yuga, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, especially we are following Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, So most of the time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't display anger. Very less time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu displaying. For example, this Jagai Madhav one case, and in Chota Haridas, okay, you can say Chota Haridas was not non-devotee, it was his kind of associate. Maybe Chota Haridas, you can say, this Kala Krishna Das, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Jagannath, South India. So very few incidents you will find Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got angry. So I remember once, my Guru Maharaj was telling, in Kali Yuga, most of the time we have to be peaceful, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So there are many reasons one can become angry. For example, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in Varanasi. This Mayavadis, people, they are criticizing, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu peacefully is sitting. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu interacted with this South India Buddhist, the Guru, head of Buddhist, So I think, what he was saying, we have to intellectually deal this matter, that what you were saying, that Lord Krishna told Arjun to kill. Arjun was not initially, he wanted to kill, but Lord Krishna justified, killing these, these miscreants, 6 types of atatais, Lord Krishna told, because they did lot of harms to the Pandavas. They burned their house, they kidnapped their wife. So with proof, our Acharya give example. If you kill them, it is justified, But in our case, we have to use, intelligence, time, place, and circumstances, and we have to approach senior devotees. If you want to correct someone, criticize someone, we should take the example of this Damodar Pandit. Damodar Pandit. Damodar Pandit criticized Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu meeting little boy of a widow. So Prabhupada says, that is constructive punishment. He didn't criticize, correct him immediately, Rather, later on he corrected, and he handed over him to Nityananda Prabhu. So if we find ourselves in such a situation, we should approach senior devotees or authority so that they can correct them. Okay, Prabhu? Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you very much for the nice class. But he also has a valid point. He was making a point of speaking palatably or speaking in such a way that it is sweet to others versus speaking the truth. Because we are supposed to become independently thoughtful devotees, and definitely when we speak of the truth for the benefit of others, this is very much recommended by the Acharyas, and Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Bhakti Vinod Thakur also gives 3 different situations in which one must speak the truth for his own benefit, for the benefit of the person who is propagating mistruth, and also for the benefit of the society. Could you please speak a little bit on this?
Yes, sometime, you can say like Chanakya Pandit says, Satyam Bruyat Priyam Bruyat. The truth can be speak, in a palatable way, very palatable way. But if you don't know how to speak in palatable way, then you should approach someone who can speak palatable way. Sometimes our truth, even in Bhagavatam, this Bamandev and Vali Maharaj's episode, in 6th situation, Lord says, one can speak even lie also. One can take shelter of falsity. That is justified. Like Bamandev, he took shelter of falsity. So again, the point is, one should speak truth straightforward, or one should not hide any truth. But sometimes, situation becomes, different. That's why one should, what I said, that one should speak truth. But if you are unable, if you are not qualified, or if you are not, unable to speak, then you can, tell that truths to someone whom they are going to listen. And sometimes if you speak truth, they may not listen. And again, Chanakya Pandit says this, finish, that if you give instruction to envious people, their anger will increase more and more, rather than reducing. So you have to see the situation, time, place, and circumstances. There's a beautiful verse of this, statement. The last one, Prakopayana Shantaya. I forgot the first line. Upadesha hi murkhanam prakopayana shantanam. So if someone who don't want to listen, if you give him instruction, then he will not listen. Then the situation will become even more worse. So that's why a devotee should intellectually deal that matter. If I don't speak, if someone else speaks, then he may be corrected. That's what my point. Okay. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki, Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Gaur Pramanande.